February 2007, Jan de Nul takes on the $1 billion lump sum EPC contract for the Manifa Arabian heavy crude oil field development. Saudi Aramco's Phoenix is about to be reborn. With this ambitious aim, increase the world's crude oil production with 900,000 barrels per day and produce 210 million standard cubic feet per day of associated gas. The task ahead for Jan de Nul is of mythological proportions as well. Build 27 islands capable of harboring not just some holiday homes, but a string of heavy-duty crude oil drilling facilities and 2 water injection stations. Construct a 41-kilometer causeway to connect these islands with each other and the shore. The location is critically complex. In the shallow waters of the Arabian Gulf, ordinary deep-sea dredging and the traditional use of ocean vessels to set up jackets and platforms are excluded. A sophisticated design is needed, offshore brain surgery, not in the least because the challenge is also to preserve the environment, the rich existing sea fauna and flora and the livelihood of local fishermen. Jan de Nul takes on the task comprehensively. The company will engineer, procure and construct. Seven days later, on the 8th of March 2007, Jan de Nul's Americo Vespucci arrives in the area. A fleet of point vessels is assembled that will displace a total of 40 million cubic meters of sand to create 27 islands with a surface each of 90,000 square meters or 9 soccer fields. 2 types of vessels are used. Trailing suction hopper dredgers suck up sand from the seafloor. Cutter suction dredgers are fixed to the bottom of the sea with a pole and grate and grind rockier underwater surfaces. Each island requires point shipments of sand on average. The sand sucked up at one location in the Arabian Gulf is deposited with GPS centimeter precision at the spots where the 27 islands will be raising out of the sea. First, the biggest vessels are used. In a second stage, as the sand piles up and the waters become even more shallow, smaller ships are needed because the bigger ones would strand. GPS teams survey the proceedings constantly on smaller boats circling the dredging vessels. All the freshly reclaimed and sand requires a protection against the action of daily wave attacks and up to 100-year storm. Therefore, giant sheets of geotextile are put on top of the sand and covered with rocks weighing up to 5 tons each. The rocks needed to consolidate the islands are extracted inland at quarries up to 600 kilometers from the shore. The bigger rocks are tested, each of them separately, on density, water absorption, abrasion resistance and magnesium sulfate soundness in a laboratory. On-site, offshore, later on also drop load, shape, grading and point load will be tested. Every day point trucks with smaller stones and bigger rocks leave for the coast. Together they drive point kilometers around the world. So far 1.6 million cubic meters of rocks were used. That's the equivalent of 42,000 20 feet long containers. In the meantime, the Jandenal procurement team has made sure that at last one important component for the construction of the islands has been delivered in time. Marl that looks like sand but isn't. It has very different qualities that are ideal to solidify the surfaces of the island with compactors. 1.5 million cubic meters of marl will have been procured by the end of the project. Jan de Nul is not only building islands. The islands are connected to each other and the shore by a 6 to 11 meters wide asphalted causeway that consists of a 20-kilometer main artery plus another 20 kilometers of chutes that lead to 27 shallow water drilling islands. Part of the causeway are bridges, 14 bridges in total, the longest of which, the main bridge, is 2.4 kilometers long. Bridges were chosen, and not just dikes, to allow for the continued flow of the tides in and out of the bay. Dikes would have stopped the circulation, algae would have appeared, the bridges let the sea continue to ebb and flow, fauna and flora to flourish, and the local fishermen to thrive. In the extreme climate of the Arabic Sea, the building of these bridges is no mean feat. The average temperature in the bay is ... the humidity is ... The concrete profiles for the bridges are therefore built in deep onshore craters that provide shade, while ice is used for further added cooling down. All these heavy-duty tasks take their toll on the trucks, boats, cranes and other machines that are used for transport and on the dredging and building site itself. A specialized workshop takes care of the repairs. In the meantime, a team takes care of surveying the workers, maintaining high standards of health and security amongst them. 4 task forces are put to work. First task, to build a camp in the middle of the desert that can accommodate 2,778 engineers and laborers. Build dormitories, provide rest and recreation. Set up a monthly magazine, cater food for 35 different nationalities with 3 kitchens and multiple menus. Set up a meal delivery service to the workers out on site. Organize transport between the camp and the working sites and back. The Manifa Arabian Heavy Crude Oil Field Development. Engineered, procured and constructed by Jan de Nul.